Welcome to the Wealth Dialogue. I'm Emily.
And I'm Jack.
Have you ever, reached the middle of the month, looked at your bank balance, and just had that sinking feeling?
Oh, absolutely.
The one where you think, wait a minute, where did all my money go?
Hmm.
You haven't made some huge purchase, no big trip, and your budget looked, fine on paper. But the actual balance is just mysteriously low.
That feeling is not only universal, but it's often a sign that your budgeting focus is, well, entirely misplaced.
Misplaced.
Yeah, we tend to zero in on the major monthly expenses, rent, car payments, the big bills. But the data confirms that your finances are usually drained not by those huge visible costs, but by this phenomenon we call hidden money leaks.
Exactly. And we assume that if we need to fix our finances, we have to make these huge, painful cuts.
Right, like stop eating out completely.
Yes. But the sources we've looked at for this deep dive suggest the truth is far more, insidious. Your budget is bleeding out from tiny, quiet, and just shockingly common expenses.
The ones that sneak right past your conscious mind.
These are the leaps almost everyone has, even the most financially savvy people.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We need to expose these invisible leaks. And more importantly, give you some highly actionable strategies to plug them.
A shortcut.
A shortcut to reclaiming wealth you didn't even realize you were losing. The biggest financial problems are so often rooted in the relentless damage of these tiny ignored costs.
Okay, so that distinction between the whale purchases and that drip, drip, drip is crucial. Let's start by defining the enemy. What exactly are we talking about when we say money leak?
A money leak is it's any recurring expense that feels small, it feels temporary or, harmless in the moment.
Right.
But because it happens so often, its frequency just rapidly drains your budget. The danger isn't the dollar amount itself. It's the expense's ability to blend completely into your daily routine.
So it just goes unquestioned.
For years, maybe.
That blending is where the psychological trap sets in. Because if I spend, say, $500, I feel immediate pain, maybe some guilt. But when we look at leaks that are like $5, $8, $12, the transaction doesn't hurt. Why are we so susceptible to these tiny hits?
The sources really get into the behavioral science here. And it's this perfect storm created by modern commerce. The first factor is automation.
Subscription renewals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You set it once, you forget it, and that monthly charge just becomes invisible. Then there's convenience factors, like stored payment info and tap to pay.
It removes the friction.
Totally. Spending becomes this subconscious movement, not a deliberate, effortful choice.
So if the brain doesn't have to work, it doesn't really calculate the cost.
Precisely. And that leads to the most critical piece, the psychology of pain. When you hand over physical cash, you feel that loss immediately.
Oh, yeah.
But when you just tap a card for $8, your brain, it just doesn't register the pain of that purchase. It's too small to trigger an alarm.
And that lets you do it again and again.
3 times a day, every day. The bank account absorbs the hit repeatedly, but your vigilance, it just stays low.
Okay, so we've identified what is causing the drain. It's the cumulative effect of these low-friction, low-pain purchases. Now let's get specific. Our source material identified the 5 most common hidden leaks that are like draining budgets everywhere. I guarantee you'll recognize at least 3 of these immediately.
Let's lead you through this list. The big 5. First up, leak number 1, the subscription swamp.
A classic.
It seems like basic advice, but the depth of the problem is what's new.
Oh.
We're not just talking about the gym membership you forgot about. The real danger is in the micro subscriptions.
Like what?
The streaming service you only use for one show, the 5 different productivity apps you trialed and forgot to cancel, or that recurring cloud storage fee for a product you don't even use anymore.
And what makes this so tough to plug is the effort required to stop it. Companies often use what they call dark patterns, intentionally complicated, multi-step cancellation processes buried deep in menus. It's like they want you to just give up and keep paying the $9.99.
That's the key insight. It's technical friction designed to exploit your behavioral laziness. You're paying for effort you refuse to expend.
Okay, moving on to leak 2.
Leak number 2 is the convenience tax. This is all about the high cost of substituting preparation for ease.
Ah, the delivery fees.
That's the main culprit. The data shows they often add 30 to 40% to the cost of the meal once you add in all the fees and the tip.
Wow.
You also see it in random grab-and-go snacks, airport impulse buys. basically paying for speed when you had time to plan. You're paying a huge premium just for immediate access.
But that convenience factor is so hard to argue against, you know? Our time feels so valuable.
It does. But the sources suggest we treat convenience like a luxury tax we should avoid unless it's truly necessary.
Right. Which I guess leads us to the next one.
Exactly. Leak number 3, micro upgrades.
Okay, explain that.
These are the small, deliberate choices that feel justifiable in the moment, but they multiply into serious spending. It's always the slight enhancement.
Like getting guac.
Or $3 extra for better coffee beans, opting for priority shipping when standard mail would be fine, choosing the premium wash at the car wash every single time.
Okay, but if I genuinely value the faster shipping or the extra toppings, isn't that a justified expense? Where's the line between a conscious upgrade and an insidious leak?
The difference, according to the sources, is consistency. If you make that micro upgrade 50 times a year, you spend an extra $200 for really minimal gain. The leak happens when the slightly nicer option becomes your default.
It becomes normalized.
It's the normalization of the upgraded expense.
Uh.
Then we have the genuinely sneaky one.
Uh-oh.
Leak number 4, dynamic pricing traps. This is where the tech really starts to hit. We are talking about expenses that fluctuate based on demand, timing, and crucially, your personal user profile.
So beyond just the obvious Uber surge pricing.
Much, much deeper than that. This involves algorithmic pricing where the cost of a flight or a hotel room might actually be higher for you specifically, based on whether you're browsing with an expensive phone model, whether you've cleared your cookies, or if you've searched that item multiple times. You are being profiled and priced accordingly.
That's unsettling.
And then you have the hidden costs, like those annoying resort fees that only appear late in the transaction, pressuring you to complete the sale at the higher price. Awareness is the only defense here.
Wow, so my own perceived affluence might be driving up the price I see online.
It very well could be. And finally, leak number 5, the daily treat routine.
This might seem obvious.
It does, but the scale is what makes it a massive leak. This is the daily coffee run, the constant bottled drinks, impulse buys at the checkout counter. The surprising thing we found in the sources is that for many people, the annual spending on impulse snacks and drinks significantly exceeds what they spend on actual, planned, healthy groceries.
That comparison is staggering. If you're spending $5 a day, 5 days a week, that's $25. Over a year, that single habit is costing you over $1,300.
It's not a treat.
That's a small vacation budget.
The compounding effect is just brutal on these small, repetitive actions.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the 5 categories of invisible hemorrhage. We know what's causing the drain. So how do we introduce that necessary friction and create real change without turning budgeting into a complex part-time job?
Right. Let's talk about the 6 fixes.
The fixes.
We've distilled the source material into 6 high-impact behavioral shifts. These are designed to stop the bleeding immediately. Tip number 1, the annual subscription purge.
Annual, not monthly.
Don't make it a monthly chore. Make it a high-stakes annual event. The rule is simple and absolute. Dedicate 1 hour, go through your bank statement line by line for the last 12 months, and cancel anything you are not actively using.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. That 1 hour of cancellation is probably the most lucrative hour of your entire year.
I love that framing. It motivates you to fight through that resistance.
Okay, tip 2, implement the 24-hour rule.
No exceptions here either.
No exceptions. This is a direct weapon against impulse buys. When you see something appealing, online or in a store, you must wait 24 hours.
Just walk away.
Put it in a cart, write it down, walk away. If you still genuinely believe you need it the next day, buy it. If the impulse fades, you've won.
That seems tough for people who are so used to instant gratification. What makes that waiting period so effective?
It forces your prefrontal cortex to engage. It transfers the purchase from the impulsive emotional part of your brain to the rational cost-benefit analysis center.
And most of the time, the emotion is temporary.
Exactly. The emotional desire is transient, and the item won't provide lasting satisfaction. We stop buying things we don't really need.
Got it. Creating that necessary mental delay. What's next?
Tip 3, adopt the default to planning. This is the direct fix for the convenience tax. If you habitually buy bottled water, you need a reusable bottle.
Simple enough.
If you habitually buy lunch, you must dedicate Sunday evening to meal prepping. The sources confirm that this one shift, from pure convenience to preparation, can easily save you hundreds of dollars a month.
That's a massive return on investment for, what, 10 minutes of planning?
For sure. Tip 4, Destroy one-click and stored payments.
Ah, another friction creator.
A crucial one. Retailers like Amazon and Uber deliberately store your card details because they know it increases spending, forcing yourself to physically get your wallet and type in your card number for every transaction.
It's a mental speed bump.
It is. Research shows that even that minor inconvenience is enough to make consumers rethink a quick, impulsive purchase about 50% of the time.
That's fascinating. The simple act of getting up off the couch is a psychological barrier. I can feel the pain of that just thinking about it.
Exactly. Next, tip 5. Boundary-based spending limits. Forget complex, track every penny budgeting.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Instead, focus your energy on setting clear boundaries for your high-leak categories. Define a monthly ceiling specifically for dining out, ride-sharing, online shopping, whatever your vice is.
So you're not tracking everything.
You're just putting a simple cap on the most problematic areas.
Mm.
It makes your awareness hyper-focused.
So control the 2 or 3 categories where the leaks happen most and let the rest of the budget manage itself.
Precisely. And finally, tip 6, the 7-day leak tracker.
The moment of truth.
This is an exercise we strongly recommend. For just 1 week, you must write down every single purchase you make that is under $20. Track the coffee, the snack, the $7 app download. Everything. The sources guarantee the total amount spent on these micro purchases in just 7 days will be genuinely shocking.
That final tip is powerful because it takes the invisible and makes it starkly visible. You have to quantify the drain, right? Because these small numbers sound so manageable until you see the weekly total.
And we can put some real number to it. I want to share a real-world anecdote from the source material about a friend who was constantly frustrated about being broke before payday. He genuinely believed he didn't have a spending problem because he was meeting all his major bills. So he followed tip 6 and tracked only his small spends for 7 days.
And what was the consequence of that self-awareness?
The shocking result was that he spent $167 in that single week.
Wow.
And this included no major grocery runs, no planned purchases. This was solely on bottled drinks, random grab-and-go snacks, and impulse orders from late-night food apps.
$167 lost entirely to micro purchases in 1 week. If that's representative, that's over $8,500 a year, just vanishing.
And when he fixed only those specific leaks, by adopting tip 3, switching to planning, and strictly implementing tip 4 by removing his stored cards, the immediate transformation was incredible.
What were the savings?
He calculated a consistent savings of $400 per month.
$400 a month. That's enough to cover a student loan payment or completely eliminate a utility bill for a lot of people.
And when you annualize that, by just fixing those hidden money leaks, that friend reclaimed $4,800 a year.
Incredible.
He didn't need to change his career, move apartments, or dramatically alter his lifestyle. He just closed the holes in his boat. The savings were there all along, hidden in plain sight.
That is such a powerful validation of the strategy. So what does this all mean for someone listening?
The core takeaway is that you're likely losing more money passively to these frictionless, low-pain, invisible purchases than you are actively saving through major budget cuts.
So it's not big things.
The budget breaks not because of the big costs you track, but because of the 1,000 cuts you ignore every single day. If you manage the leaks, the sources demonstrate that the overall budget really begins to manage itself.
That passive saving is the most exciting part of this.
Yeah.
You stop feeling the pain of sacrifice because you've simply stopped hemorrhaging cash. So we encourage you, start the process of reclaiming that invisible wealth right now. Take the challenge. Try the leak tracker for just 1 week. Track every single spend under $20.
You might be surprised.
That simple, difficult process of tracking, even temporarily, is the first and most critical step toward revealing where your own $4,800 might be hiding.